History is often told as a story of kings, empires, revolutions, and wars. But behind the events we learn in school, there is another layer, a hidden architecture of influence built by groups that operated in the shadows. Some were political, some were philosophical, some were born from necessity, others from ambition, but all of them left fingerprints on the world we live in today. Today, we explore 10 secret societies that didn't just exist. They shaped history. Groups whose decisions, alliances, and covert actions altered nations, toppled rulers, and redirected the course of civilization. 1. The Freemasons. Few organizations have inspired more speculation than the Freemasons. But beyond the myths, the Freemasons were a real force in shaping the modern world. Emerging from medieval stonemason guilds, they evolved into a fraternity of thinkers, architects, scientists, and political leaders. Their lodges became meeting places where ideas could be exchanged freely. Ideas about liberty, equality, and the rights of individuals. In the 18th century, these ideas were revolutionary. Many of the architects of the American Revolution were Freemasons. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and numerous signers of the Declaration of Independence were members. Their influence wasn't magical or mystical, it was ideological. They created networks of trust, shared knowledge, and coordinated political action. The Freemasons didn't control history, but they helped build the intellectual foundation of the modern democratic world. In 19th century Italy, the Carbonari, the charcoal burners, operated as a clandestine revolutionary movement. They weren't mystical, they weren't wealthy, they were ordinary citizens, soldiers, and intellectuals united by a single goal: the unification and liberation of Italy. Their cells were small, decentralized, and fiercely secretive. They used coded messages, symbolic rituals, and covert meetings to avoid detection by the ruling empires that controlled the Italian peninsula. The Carbonari staged uprisings, spread revolutionary ideas, and inspired a generation of activists. Their influence reached Giuseppe Mazzini, who later became one of the architects of Italian unification. The Carbonari didn't live to see their dream realized, but their spark ignited a movement that reshaped a nation. In the mountains of Persia during the Middle Ages, a secretive sect known as the Nizari Ismailis, later called the Assassins, developed a reputation that terrified empires. They were not a band of chaotic killers. They were a disciplined, strategic organization that used targeted political assassinations to influence the balance of power. Their strongholds were nearly impossible to conquer. Their members were trained in stealth, intelligence gathering, and psychological warfare. They eliminated key political figures to prevent wars, destabilize enemies, or protect their communities. Their power was not in numbers, but in precision. A single assassin could change the course of a conflict. Their legacy shaped the politics of the Middle East for centuries and left behind a word, assassin, that still echoes today. In early 20th century Germany, the Thule Society began as an occultist and nationalist group, but beneath the mysticism, it became a gathering place for political radicals who would later influence the rise of the Nazi movement. The society funded political organizations, published propaganda, and provided a platform for extremist ideologies. Some early members later joined or supported the formation of the German Workers' Party, the group that eventually evolved into the Nazi Party. The Thule Society did not control the Nazi regime, but it helped cultivate the ideological soil from which it grew. Its story is a reminder that fringe groups can have real-world consequences when their ideas find fertile ground. Before the American Revolution erupted into open conflict, a group of colonists formed a secret organization known as the Sons of Liberty. Their mission was simple: resist British rule. They coordinated protests, organized boycotts, and spread revolutionary sentiment throughout the colonies. Their most famous act, the Boston Tea Party, was a carefully planned operation carried out under the cover of night. The Sons of Liberty were not a formal society. They had no official membership list, but their influence was enormous. They transformed scattered frustrations into a unified movement that eventually led to independence. Their secrecy protected them. Their unity empowered them. Their actions changed the world. In the early 20th century, the Balkans were a powder keg of political tension. Among the nationalist groups operating in the shadows was the Black Hand, a secret Serbian organization dedicated to freeing Slavic territories from imperial rule. Their methods were covert, smuggling weapons, training rebels, and planning targeted attacks. Their most infamous act was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914, an event that triggered World War I. The Black Hand did not intend to start a global conflict, but their actions set off a chain reaction that reshaped the 20th century. A small secret society, operating in the shadows, altered the fate of nations. Long before the Illuminati became a pop culture myth, it was a real organization founded in Bavaria in 1776. Its goal was not world domination, but enlightenment, the promotion of reason, secularism, and freedom of thought. The Illuminati infiltrated academic circles, political groups, and intellectual societies. They sought to challenge the power of monarchs and the influence of the church. Their secrecy made them effective and dangerous in the eyes of authorities. Within a decade, the Bavarian government outlawed the group, but their ideas continued to spread through Europe, influencing reformers and revolutionaries. The real Illuminati didn't survive long, but their legacy lived on in the movements that reshaped Europe during the Age of Enlightenment. During the Cold War, a group of British intelligence officers secretly passed information to the Soviet Union. They were known as the Cambridge Five, a spy ring formed by young men recruited at Cambridge University in the 1930s. Their motivations were ideological. They believed they were helping build a more just world, but their actions compromised British intelligence for decades, exposed operations, and altered the balance of espionage during the Cold War. Their story is not one of glamour, but of deception, a reminder that secret societies can exist even within the institutions meant to protect nations. The Mafia is often portrayed as a criminal organization, but historically, it functioned as a secret society with its own codes, rituals, and political influence. In 19th century Sicily, it emerged as a parallel power structure, filling the vacuum left by weak government institutions. The Mafia controlled land, mediated disputes, and influenced elections. Its reach extended into business, law enforcement, and politics. Over time, it spread beyond Italy, shaping the history of entire regions, from Sicily to New York. The Mafia's secrecy was its strength. Its influence was not just criminal, but social and political. It shaped communities, economies, and governments, often from the shadows. In the 12th century, the Knights Templar began as a small group of warrior monks sworn to protect pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. But over time, they became one of the most powerful organizations in medieval Europe. They developed an early form of banking, created secure financial networks, and accumulated vast wealth. Their influence extended into politics, economics, and warfare. Kings borrowed money from them. Nobles entrusted them with their fortunes. Their secrecy Discipline and financial power made them indispensable and dangerous. Eventually, the French crown turned against them, leading to their downfall. But their legacy survived. Their financial innovations shaped modern banking, their myths inspired centuries of stories, and their influence can still be felt in the structures of Western institutions. Secret societies are not magical. They do not control the world. But throughout history, they have shaped it, not through supernatural power, but through organization, secrecy, and shared purpose. Some fought for freedom, some pursued knowledge, some sought power, some caused chaos. But all of them reveal a truth about human civilization. History is not only shaped by the visible forces, the armies, the kings, the revolutions, but also by the hidden networks operating behind the scenes. The world we live in today is the product of both the public and the secret, the known and the unseen. And sometimes, the most influential movements are the ones that leave no monuments, no armies, and no official records, only the quiet imprint of their actions on the pages of history.